I'm here because I'm a bookkeeper and I work with a lot of small business owners and I help them to pay their excise taxes to the Department of Revenue. And I'm really upset because Bank of America is the only state in the nation that gets a tax deduction for all the money that it earns for interest and fees and everything else on first-time home mortgages. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars that our state is not getting in tax revenue, and my small business owner clients are having to pay their fair share, and it's not right that B of A doesn't pay theirs.
It's socially responsibility. I love the infrastructure. I love knowing my taxes are going to protect us and take care of us, educate us, keep us healthy, provide us with roads, everything. Everything that's physical in this world, I love paying taxes into that betters mankind and this country and people in general.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it?
It's a beautiful place.
Sure, because Wall Street destroyed our economy and now they expect everybody but Wall Street to pay for it. Wall Street records record profits while our schools are being gutted. They get trillion-dollar bailouts while we lose our homes and our life savings. They get huge tax subsidies while we lose everything we've ever had. It's not cool. They should pay their own gambling debts.
Two signs. One says, I pay my taxes, why doesn't Bank of America, usuncut.org, and then your other sign says, move your money to a credit union.
Exactly.
You say it makes sense to look at this as community versus Wall Street.
Yes, exactly. Wall Street has done very well, actually, even though the rest of the economy is lagging behind and we have no jobs and we're making massive cuts which are affecting people's lives. The market is doing very well. Corporations are making record profits. At the same time, they are still paying no taxes at a time when they really need to contribute to the country that supports their business and their ability to become super rich and stay that way. And so they owe the people of the United States the money that was stolen from them during the big bailouts, during the fall, so-called fall of Wall Street. They were able to stay afloat.
The public infrastructure supports and enables their function.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's why we have a progressive tax system, is because it's much more fair that people who have the benefit that the country provides for free enterprise, etc., and allows people to seek wealth, that they have a responsibility to pay their fair share, where other people have not been so lucky in life. People who are disabled, people who are just happen to be minorities, and the history of this country has been that they've become the forgotten ones. We're now making massive cuts in state funding. Just 2 weeks ago, 13 or 14 home health care workers were arrested. They went all the way. They got themselves arrested to make the point that what happens to the people that these massive cuts affect? What happens to the old people when the home health care workers are fired from their jobs? Do you think that they just stop taking care of the old people? No, they have to give up their personal time for that. And so this is just a small thing that I'm doing, is just holding up a sign so that people will take notice. There's probably only about 50 of us here. It would be nice if other people joined us, but at least someone's here and someone's making a statement, and hopefully this will end up in some sort of media, whether it be YouTube or the Daily Olympian or other ways. Yeah.
Holyblog.net.
Holyblog.net, yes. Very good source of good information. Alternative information from the mass media, which only serves the corporations and keeps us sort of complacent.
Divided and conquered.
Right, divided, conquered, afraid. A lot of people seek wealth in this country because they're afraid of being poor, because they see the poverty. Then money becomes the be-all and end-all of it all. Someone making $300,000 a year wants to make $500,000, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They move up the line to in corporations to become a CEO where they pay nothing. They contribute nothing to society. Billions of dollars to corporations. They have absolutely no obligation to hire one living soul. During the last big depression, Herbert Hoover did the same thing. And the economy just got worse and worse, and there were more and more poor, more suffering. And then finally the government took hold under Roosevelt and created jobs in this country. Because the corporations really have no more interest anymore in creating jobs in this country. They can have everything produced overseas, cheap labor, and well, I consider myself middle class. I'm retired, but my wife is still working. A lot of people only make $25,000 a year, which is really not a livable wage. We're very fortunate and very lucky. We make about $92,000 a year. We made less in 2010 than we did in 2009 because of the job cuts, because of the reduction in days that would be worked by state employees. And so we made less, and yet we ended up paying more in taxes in 2010 than 2009. What happened to the $500,000 is the cutoff level, and everybody over that amount will pay an increase, and people under that will not see an increase. And yet what they've done is just continue the Bush tax cuts. Apparently Obama had to make all these compromises so that $250,000 or $300,000 threshold just went away. And so the middle class, people making under $100,000 actually ended up picking up more of the bill in 2010. And I expect maybe that will happen in 2011 as well. Maybe not until the next term will we see any changes in the tax code. And hopefully Obama is listening to all this, and the IRS is listening to all this, and they want to be successful and collect as much money as they can from these billions and billions of dollars made by the corporations.
And justice. What is due to Caesar? You gotta give it on to Caesar. But what belongs to you and I? You better give it up to us. Yeah. You will get your peace when we get equal rights and justice. This and the civil rights and equal rights.